Fight fam, this is Ryan, founder of Boxing Gems. This is the breakdown of Carlos Adames versus Emma Williams. We couldn't use film without copyright issues on YouTube, so the full film study is on Patreon for those interested in the visual receipts behind the analysis you're about to hear. With that out the way, let's get into it. Carlos Adames is somewhat of a switch hitter with the hybrid guard system. He shifts between high guard, conventional guard, and low hands depending on range and rhythm. Against southpaws, however, he typically stays orthodox and leans heavily towards counterpunching, but this is where the refinement matters. Adames does not prefer counterpunching as a style. He wants to land a devastating counter quickly. He's testing for a trigger. If the early counter lands clean, if he hurts the opponent, the system shifts immediately. He upgrades into aggressive combinations. Normally, a high-level fighter will use feints, probes, and jabs to make reads, which help the selection process to get into combination punching, but at that point, the lack of clean reads matters far less. A buzzed or body-hurt opponent can't defend with the same speed or structure. Adames' need for reads shrinks because damage replaces the inherent danger that attacking entails. However, if his counters don't land cleanly and he begins to fall behind, he still upgrades, but now it becomes urgency-driven aggression. This version is different. It's built on necessity, and now the lack of reads become dangerous for him, and his aggression is more likely to dissolve in him taking damage. He extends beyond 2 beats. He abandons trying to end exchanges. He trades. If he feels the fight slipping, he's willing to collapse into chaos because he trusts his chin and power more than structure. His biggest vulnerabilities remain intact. His offhand drops when countering. He'll reach and leave openings. He lacks a repeatable jab against southpaws. When pressure or out position, he defaults to a high guard shell rather than asserting controls. Once exchanges become chaotic, he is flawed but still dangerous. In unstructured trading, he has mostly still come out ahead. Austin Emma Williams, a southpaw, approaches orthodox opponents with a clear structural objective: get offense off first and control geometry. At his best, Emma circles and circle jabs to his right, stepping outside the orthodox lead foot. This is critical. It creates a clean lane for the straight left while reducing exposure to an orthodox fighter's right hand. Just as important, circling right allows Williams to break alignment and exit relatively safely after initiating offense. From long range, Williams uses level changes and feints to disguise entry. Then when he's comfortable, he often extends, being first beyond 2 beats. On the inside, he can maintain his initiation again by stepping around and restarting. However, he struggles with ending exchanges safely overall. When he extends combinations without clean exits, he pendulums in between too much risk and reward. At times, he can also drop the offhand while punching. He can allow exchanges to run longer than necessary, but the difference between him and Adames is that he usually begins the exchanges, and that beginning can matter, especially early. So the real structural question is, can Williams establish offense repeatedly and also deny Adames successful counters early? If Williams circles right consistently, lands the jab, and maintains angles, he prevents Adames from landing the kind of early counter that shifts momentum. If he denies that spark, Adames will eventually escalate, but from behind, pause. And escalation from behind is structurally riskier, pause. But if Williams neglects to circle right and remains in front, even briefly, or if Adames was simply to step left from the start, his counters become dangerous. One clean counter could flip the fight immediately and transition Adames into aggression with momentum. That early phase is critical. Body work could also slow Williams' foot speed over time. If the circle right diminishes, Williams loses his clean escape lane. Adames' prior weight and health concerns, which canceled the first scheduled meeting, introduced a subtle but meaningful factor. His chaos-based escalation demands energy and durability. If stamina dips, any trading becomes more dangerous than normal for him. Can Adames find his counters early and trigger momentum before Emma establishes a repeatable way to initiate attack? We'll see. Detailed systems manual breaking down everything you hear on this channel coming soon. Peace. Fight fam. Boxing is called the sweet science for a reason. Every slip, every counter, every trap, it's all hidden in the details. At Boxing Gems, we break down those details frame by frame so fans can see the art behind the fight. If you enjoy our YouTube film studies and want to go deeper down the rabbit hole, Patreon is the place. It helps us keep producing high-quality breakdowns without worrying about algorithms, and it gives you exclusive access to the content that can't make it on the YouTube. Get extended live stream breakdowns with more detail and analysis. Ask your own questions in the 24/7 chats, decide what fights or fighters we cover, and get personalized private analysis. Your support means we can keep studying the sport we love and showing why boxing is the most beautiful science. Join the Boxing Gems community on Patreon, and let's keep breaking down the fight game together. This is Ryan, professional boxing analyst and founder of Boxing Gems Film Study. Film don't lie.